So a lot of you guys might already know this, but these are the Brooklyn Banks, one of the most iconic riding spots in the world. No matter you ride skateboarding, BMX, or scooter, you've seen them in video parts, magazines, and even Tony Hawk's video game. Now, if you're not a part of our industry, then you've seen them in movies and TV shows, and it's brought so many different cultures into one area to enjoy the space. This has been around a very long time. Actually, I have a little article pulled up if you guys want to check it out. But first, we're going to check out this Instagram post stated by the New York locals talking about the entire construction of this happening in the spring. Check this out. So, it says located on the Manhattan side of the Brooklyn Bridge, the park was an iconic skate destination for decades. The plaza closed in 2010 due to bridge construction. Last week, the city announced plans to start renovation in the spring, which is awesome. And they're in partnership with Tony Hawk's Foundation, which is even more amazing. He's done so many great things for the action sports industry. He actually even commented here, he's happy to help, but Steve Rodriguez, who he's referring to, did all the heavy lifting, which he is right. I mean, Steve has been a major part of this for, the better part of, as long as I can remember, 15 years. I've seen him in magazines, video parts, explaining how he was trying to head up the organization to keep this place alive, not being torn down, because the city's always come after this to try to look for reasons to tear it down. They actually looked for a reason not that long ago, I would say about this, when they shut it down. They were trying to build this into a green area, as in like a lounging area for people to come hang out and just like read and tan. And this has been a big fight for Steve for a long time. And I'm really hyped that he's been able to work with the city to be able to make this happen. I'm ecstatic because I only live about 2.5 hours away, so I'm definitely going to be making some trips up here now. This is one of the most iconic places that I ever rode as well. I mean, I've been riding about 20 years, and this was one of the first major iconic places I ever went. I can remember like doing my first bar spin, my first wall ride to X up on these pillars here. I mean, these pillars were like the perfect transition going up to it. They weren't that wide, so it was kind of like a quick like bounce on and off, but they were such a joy to ride. Now, there's been so many comments on this, and some amazing people getting involved, which I think I'm going to make a donation actually to Tony Hawk's Foundation because I want to see more of this happening. Now, going on to the Brooklyn Banks, this little article I found, it shows what the idea of what this is going to look like here in the city. It shows the new layout. So I'll link all these in the description below. You can check them out in your own time. I'm just skimming through them now, and it'll show a top view here. So here's the old photo, which we have right now as a background. And this will be the top view of what the overall project is going to look like. So this is your aerial view. This is going to be our three-dimensional view to kind of get an idea of how good this is going to look actually. It shows the green area. There's going to be an area for the people to lounge, but it's also going to be accepted for the skate, BMX, scooter industry, or even no matter what you want to ride here. That's the fantastic part about it. But one of the best things about this is it's brought up, in my mind, it's made me like recollect some of the most iconic moments I remember. Now, a lot of the things I'm going to show you right now aren't the most iconic moments in BMX, but it brought me back to moments. I mean, I've got like old 3 tapes from the Brooklyn Banks, which I'm going to make like a little, now that this has come to light, I'm going to make like a little edit showing you guys like the type of riding we used to do back then. But first I want to show you a clip here. So this I found on Ride BMX's old YouTube channel. But they got some like really nifty clips. I haven't muted because it's copyright. But you can see, let's go back to that real quick. You can see like that, the crew is always out there. This pretty much brought Animal Bikes Scavenger on the map. Like Edwin De Rosso, this was like, he was one of the most iconic street riders back then. That kind of paved the way for a lot of the riders you're seeing right here. Pretty much made the bar spin the staple street BMX trick, and even a tail up actually. I remember like he was one of the first people I saw consistently do it. Kind of paved the way for Nigel Sylvester as well. Now, a lot of these riders, I would love to see if they still shred on a regular basis, but like it put this area on the map as far as like BMX. As far as BMX, you really just saw like West Coast. East Coast was more grungy and street, and it just, look at this, perfect transition, perfect rails. I do want to pause here. Let's go back a little bit more. Let's get to the next clip, see if they show it. But like the city let them attach ledges and rails. That rail's always been there. But like in the background, sometimes of these, you'll see ledges and rails. The city let them have that for a period of time because they were able to lobby for it. But you can see like the little arc that you see right here. That's part of the plans that we saw, I'm pretty sure, was on this. So you can kind of see, like, there it is there. So that's part of it there. That's kind of give you an idea on where this is going to be. Plus the name Gotham Park, I'm really pumped about because I love Batman stuff. But as we watch, you'll be able to see the differences that people added. I mean, mind you, that light post was so close back in the day. I remember this is like one of my first or second overgrinds because I ran pegs on the left back then. So this was actually a really low hop, but really intimidating because of there being nothing on the other side. But yeah, you can see people added banks and stuff like that back then. And let's see what else everybody added here. Get some clips in here. Sick no-hander though. See, people adding banks. There should be like some ledges and rails somewhere. I remember maybe it wasn't in this clip. It was a little bit too early for it. But I mean, the riding was just like top notch, you know? People just having fun and shredding and grungy space. So, Tyrone, killing it. Let's go to the next clip. So, what that brought me to was old school 80s stuff. I found this 1989 video that I found pretty entertaining, actually, because it's 33 years old, and I find it resembles a lot of today's BMX. And I mean, like, just looking at the scene, and I went to a bunch of the Brooklyn Banks events, and, like, the box jump was, like, in the same place. I mean, it was like the same type of vibe, you know. You always had people out there sending it, and people would buy or like put together money and build this and just leave it there, which is awesome. It never got like torn down by skaters. All people utilized it. Look at that. The bikes weren't the prettiest back then. I guess they're kind of appealing now, but like thinking about like the tricks that people were doing back then on these bikes, it's actually pretty insane. So sick. Awesome. So the next one I'm going to show you right now, you guys already know. Scotty Cranmer actually filmed several clips here for different video parts, and I'm pretty sure the one I'm about to show you is just him and Ruben. I have here, let's see, let's go back. So we have like Ruben, one of the most influential styles ever. Scotty as well. But everybody mimicked Ruben. Back then, everybody wanted to ride their seat just like him, and Kevin Porter. It was just the style to have. And Scotty didn't get the recognition he actually deserved back then. I mean, like, he was innovative in his own way for sure. Especially with this. He was running 25.9 back then, as well as all riders, really. So you can just watch his pedaling. Sick wall ride whip. I remember this like sequence photo. It was for like a Fox ad in a magazine. And he doesn't get enough credit actually for like doing that back then. Nobody, I mean, not a lot of people today even do it really. I don't know if it's just not that popular of a trick, but like 180 tap, 180 whip out, 3-tap whip is one of the most iconic like tricks you would see out of Scotty. I love doing that trick as well. He's literally the only reason I think I do that trick is because I saw him do it and it looked so fun. Now the next thing we're going to go to right now is, in my opinion, one of the most insane things to happen at the Banks, but later got one-upped. So we have Hoder, and we're going to bring this back a little bit more. So Hoder's got a 25.9, which means 25 front tooth sprocket, because people back then wanted to run those because they thought it would like help them with grinds and like staying out of the way for like crooked grinds, and we were just trying to convince ourselves of that, right? So check this out. Look at that pedaling. Oh! Sending it. One of the most insane things ever to happen. And like, I mean, that's the height of like Animal and Scavenger and the whole crew. Like that was like a solid group of riders that you would always see in the city riding the Banks. When I say one-upped, so it did get one-upped, but for good reason. I mean, like, I don't want to say like because he did that gap with a 360, it shouldn't not be done ever again by anybody. But if somebody was like, let's just say, do a truck driver over it, then yeah, that's kind of like a crappy one-up. But Zack Gerber sent the impossible. legit front flipped over that thing. Front flipped over the rail. But you know what's even more shocking? I don't know if like the filmers and his friends are in shock, but nobody cheered. I think everybody was just like, "What the?" Or they just knew that it was going to happen. I don't know. Either way, like my mind's still blown, and I'm pretty sure this clip, if the banks closed in 2010, unless he snuck in there at some point in time, this clip's over 10 years old. But I doubt it because looking at his bike marks, I'll have to hit him up.
That's crazy.
It might be. Let's watch it one more time. Gosh. Insane. I mean, one of the most insane things ever. Now, I'm super excited about the Brooklyn Banks reopening up to a whole new group of people. It's going to be called Gotham Park, which is awesome. Hoping they film like another Batman movie there or something. But it's supposed to be starting here in the spring. I'll be linking all of the information in the description below. If you guys like these types of like news segments that kind of give you guys more information, put those comments below. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are. And with that being said, if you guys like this video, drop a like. If you love it, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.